Emi, umeimi, usau meu, mai, bifin, chileno india, chileno, yueyu. Hello, today we are going to show you what culture is. But to do that, first we have to know what culture is. They say that in Chile there's no culture, but we want to know that by ourselves. We started by asking it to the little children.
What is culture for you?
¿No? ¿No?
Yeah.
Muchas gracias.
Well, that wasn't a good answer, so we decided to ask it to more grown-up people, like adults in Chile.
What is culture for you? For me, culture is art. Culture is the same people, society. Chile doesn't have much culture, but for me, it's that Colo Colo and Colo Colo.
Well, that wasn't good neither. So we preferred to go to the presidential house to ask to some authorities what do they think about culture.
For me, culture is the historical repeating of tradition, rites, and history of the people, in particular the popular world. That something is expressed as traditional methods, as books and other kind of things. But for me, it's expressed in the everyday and common life of the people. This is why I value the most the cultural rights of my own world, the popular world. That's all.
We can see there is a big difference between what do children, adults, and the authorities think about the culture. But we think that is because of the really different approach to culture from them, from every group. So we also wanted to know what people who have not lived in Chile for their entire life do think about culture, and we went to ask them.
Okay, the question is, what is culture for you?
Culture is this beautiful city of Santiago de Chile.
That's all.
Yes, and many other things.
Well,
We're here as visitors and I love it. It's very nice. She emigrated from Cuba recently and she loves it. We have not seen each other in 45 years since I left Cuba in 1970 as a
Very nice.
child. We had not seen each other. She was a young girl, she was a teenager. And when she left Cuba, in February, we had been in contact by the internet. And she said, oh, I'm gonna move. I said, perfect, I'll go to Chile and see you. Because I would not travel to Cuba. Because Cuba is a communist state. And I don't sympathize with communism.
wow.
And I left when I was a child in 1970, and my father went back to help his family, but I never went back because I don't agree.
Actually, you
the
living
system.
here in Santiago?
One more time?
You live here in Santiago?
No, I live in Miami.
in Miami.
She just moved here.
Very good
¿Qué
then.
es cultura para usted? Para mí cultura es una parte,
For me,
está lo que es la
culture
base
is a part
de
of-
lo que es el poder
there is the
como
base
tal,
of power
y está
itself,
la superestructura,
and there is
la
the
base que tiene los
superstructure,
medios de producción y todas las
base
cuestiones
that
que
has
ustedes
the
saben por
production
economía,
means and all the
política,
things you
y
know
tenemos
about
la,
economy,
lo que es
politics.
la,
We have what is the
la base
socio-cultural base,
social,
social.
está la cultura que
There
tiene
is
que ver con
culture
todo
that has to do with
la
all the
religión,
religion,
la idiosincrasia de los
idiosyncrasy of
pueblos,
people.
tiene que ver con
It
la
has to do
ideología.
with ideology.
Okay, muchas gracias.
Very good then.
Okay.
Thanks a lot.
You're very welcome. Have a good day.
There are a lot of people that comes from their culture to our culture.
Indeed, the number of foreigners in our country has grown in the last few years. In 2008, in statistics showed that there are 847,000 blah blah of people who came from other countries to live in Chile. The half of them came from our nearest countries. But what are they looking for in Chile? Many of foreigners affirm that Chile offers social, political, and economical stability, so they want to live in here. But we don't see ourselves like good people. Sometimes Chileans are classified like thieves, like irresponsible people who is impunctual. But we don't seem to have our own culture. We steal things from other cultures to build our own. This whole process of mixing cultures is made by a sort of pick and mix process. Also, this is more complex with the internet. People has access to other cultures. We take very different elements from other cultures like food, brand marks, technology, and we have also the TLC contracts that makes our economy more international. Elements have modified our society and our perspective, but is this influence good for our culture? Let's find out the impact of this in a society full of consumerism.
Oh, hold on. I wanna finish this match.
No, but it's your turn to talk.
Shut up.
No, take your phone and talk to me.
Today, one of elements that have influenced our culture is the consumerism. The consumerism is implanted in our culture today. It's like the DNA of Chilean culture. Also, the consumerism is mainly implanted by mass media. This has produced a new underground subculture. So, we interview one of the most important personalities in Chilean culture, the Pera Cuadra.
What happens with this culture itself is that from some time ago till now, several commercial centers have been raised, and they meet certain kinds of people with similar tastes, like music, rock music, video games, special clothes, accessories. We have more examples of these commercial centers, like Portal Lion at Providencia and the Underground at Paseo Las Palmas. Some of them have more boom than the others, and I think that Eurocentro is now one of the biggest ones. I can tell you that is true. Here's a melting point of tendencies, that they are not the same, but somehow they gather people who relate each other. Because there are tattoo shops, piercing shops, and they are not just metal fans, they are metal fans, hip-hop. Foreign culture is always overcoming on our culture, and in the same way I can say I am a rock music fan and I like to collect records and things like that, I can also say that I am a big fan of Chilean culture. I like Chilean gastronomy. Puerto Granados are the best food ever. One thing does not rule out the other one. We will not be able to live only under Chilean culture, because we are more residents of our planet than our...
So, are really going in a way where Chilean culture is going to be part of what Pera Cuadra says, the global culture? Are we really getting sucked by this new information era? Let's find out.
There's no room, no space to rent in this town. You're out of luck.
A part of culture is the way that we think and the way that we express ourselves. Before we had the television, the music, the letters, the books, the movies. Now we have the social networks and played an important role in the way that we express ourselves. What is the importance of the social networks? According to La Tercera newspaper, Chile has the biggest number of users of social networks in Latin America. Social networks has Twitter, Facebook, YouTube or Google, but our culture is getting overwhelmed by other global cultures. But who is winning the world? The fact is, there's no winners or losers. There's no award. At this point, we have just to enjoy the possibilities of globalization. We eat sushi from Japan. We watch movies from America and we dance like an Africa, but we are going to always being Chileans.
See the bedroom fires at night. See the oil fields at first light. And see the bird with a leaf in her mouth.
Knowing that every part of the world is in the necessity of impose his own culture, we as Chileans are totally open to enjoy the marvelous of every part of the world. Despite all this huge influence that global culture has on us, we also are part of this global culture. We're constantly giving to the world pieces of our own identity. We have football players playing all around the world, in Spain, in Italy, winning matches in different teams. We also have the best wines that you can find. We are renowned by earthquakes and miners all over the world. Having this in mind, we can clearly see that Chile is being part of this huge process of globalization. Even though we share our culture to other countries, we're still being in the paradigm of thinking if this is going to make us lose our own culture. When losing our own identity seems possible, we need to remember what we are, our traditions, our music, our deeds. All of this will be our culture, our final culture. As there is just one Chilean in the world, our culture, our deeds will prevail.
For you.
Culture is the heritage of the country. You can see that is a big difference between what do children, adults, and authority person thinks, because
The number of
This has produced a whole new undergrounds of culture. So we interview most important this has produced a whole new underground of
No offense to you, don't waste your time. Here's why.
¿No sonó?
A part of culture is the way we think. A part of culture is the way can express.
¿Qué opina usted de la cultura? What do you think about culture? Do you think culture is very important in a country? You can talk by dogs. Oh, you think that's not important at all? You think that culture is not important? Really? Oh, no, don't do it.
I want to shake.
Come on, tell us.
I
Tell
want to
us.
shake. Oh, attack.
Please, give us an interview. So, you don't like Chilean culture? You don't like it? Please, give us an answer.
Please get out. Get out.
So, you. Sir, I need to interview you. What do you think about adult culture in our days? Oh yeah, that's very kind of you, sir. Sir, can you please tell us, what do you think about culture? Oh, you... Stop fighting with me. Hey dude, I'm trying to... Oh, nice. To global culture, things that we used to say, it's fucking
Today,
having this on mind, Chile is being part of whole is this having this on mind, Chile is in the process of globalization